Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Today we are going to be previewing the 2023 U.S. Open. We're going to do women's weight classes, all 10 women's weight classes, looking through the field one by one. Very strong field of competitors this year for the women's. And we'll start from the bottom here, 50 kilograms. One of the mics, why don't you take it away?
50 kilograms, you got they're wrestling for the opportunity to wrestle in Final X against Sarah Hildebrandt, returning bronze medalist, world medalist. The weight class has quite a few All-Americans, national champion titles. Nyla Valencia from Iowa, she just won the U23 national. She was U22 world team member. You got Nina Pham. She's a three-time finalist, two-time NAIA champion, U.S. Open runner-up last year. You got Sage Mortimer and Emily Shilson, which I think if they match up will be interesting, considering what happened a couple weeks ago at the U23 nationals. They were in the NCWWC finals against one another, and then in the U23 finals, Mortimer got ejected. So, could make that an interesting story if those two meet up. You got a high school standout, Audrey Jimenez, U20 world team champ. She beat Nyla Valencia before. You got Alyssa Lampe, who she has 2 world bronze. She was in Final X last year. She's been a consistent force at this weight. You got Erin Golston. She's got a couple world bronze years ago. She's been a consistent force at this weight. I had to give a shout out to, she only wrestled in Connecticut for 1 year, but Kendra Ryan, her brother actually came to Cactus, the club. So shout out to her. Good to see, sort of Connecticut person wrestling.
Be a Cactus wrestler, be a world team member.
Yeah,
or a Cactus affiliate member.
That'd be amazing. I also saw Emma Heslin. She's CT. She's competing, but she's not as storied. She's a freshman in college now. So,
and she has no Cactus connection.
No Cactus connection. She's just Connecticut connection here.
Do you think any of these competitors have a chance to take out Hildebrandt? If someone's going to have the chance.
If I'm being honest, no. I think Alyssa Lampe, I think, is the odds-on favorite to win the U.S. Open, and I don't think she's going to be able to knock off Hildebrandt. I think, if anything, she might be able to take one match, but I don't think she'll win a best-of-2 out of 3 series at Final X. I think she'll probably end up winning the 50 kilograms for the U.S. Open, but I don't think anyone else is. Erin Golston, maybe. She's always solid, but I don't think anyone else is even gonna run a chance at winning the Open, and I don't think anyone's gonna give Hildebrandt a run for her money. I don't think that. I think Hildebrandt's just kind of a little bit above the rest of the field.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to see Audrey Jimenez, especially after she just won the U20 spot over Sage Mortimer with 2 back-to-back techs. She also beat Nyla Valencia twice, 4-2 and 7-0. And like I said, Nyla Valencia is a U23 world team member. This girl is a high schooler. I think she's going to do some damage. I think that maybe people might take her a little light because she is a high school student still.
Yeah. Well, we saw a different weight. What's her face? A couple years ago, Welker made the Olympic trials finals as a high schooler. So maybe Jimenez is the next up and coming one with this.
I'm also looking forward to see the continuation of Sage Mortimer and Emily Shilson on what would potentially be a controversial call. I know that we talked about this off camera. But if that happened in a men's match, would they still have called it the same? Who knows?
Oh, was that the knee or the headbutt?
It was the headbutt. The double.
Yeah, where it was like she was trying to clear the elbow.
Yeah, and
I don't think it was intentional.
I don't think it was intentional either. And even like Flow Wrestling talked about it. They were like, what do you? That's like textbook what you're supposed to do if someone's hanging on the arm.
Right.
So she's just trying to clear it. It wasn't intentional, but like everyone's coached that even through the youth level. But Emily Shilson's like, hey, I'm not going to let go of this arm. I don't want to give it the position, and you kind of have the trade off of okay, well now there's nothing to protect your face.
Yeah, no, and she chose not to protect her face, and then she ended up unconscious. Like, if she didn't end up unconscious, would they have made the same call? Like brutality? Like
question.
I think just because she ended up unconscious was why they ended up calling it that way.
All right, let's move on to 53 kilograms, and the final X commit is Dom Parrish, and
she's returning champ.
Yeah, number one, baby.
In the world champ.
I like Dorado Marin though. I think she has a nice single leg, and she keeps coming even if she's in a deficit. She's got a gas tank, and she could be a sleeper pick to win the U.S. Open.
I think she's gonna be tough to beat Felicity Taylor. I think that she has a really good resume, and again, she was there in the final, in Final X. Granted, it didn't work out for her last time. She was bested pretty fairly in 2 straight matches, but she's still got a great, very good resume.
I think Felicity Taylor is the girl to beat in this weight. I mean, I know they got the women's national champ Alyssa Gallegos is there. You got third at the U.S. Open, three-time third at the national women's Lauren Mason. You got a U20 or U17 world champ, U20 world bronze Katie Gomez, but I don't think any of those are really going to be able to touch Taylor. I mean, the only one that maybe could pull off another crazy run is Fernside. She was a world team member a couple years ago. She upset the bracket to do it. Maybe she could do it again after having a year off. I don't know.
I think that she does have a good shot to make the world team, assuming she won Final X. I mean,
I don't think. I don't know that someone's going to beat Dom Parrish, but I think she might make it to Final X.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. I think she could. She has a shot to win the U.S. Open, because she was not very well seeded when she made a run last time. I think she was like the 7 or 8.
Yeah. She was a really low seed when she just ran train on that bracket. So that was great to see. Maybe she'll do it again, but I think it's Taylor's weight to lose for the U.S. Open.
Well, you heard it here first. If Dorado Marin is able to pull it off, I'm pulling for her. Okay, 55 kilograms. I think I don't know. I think Jakara Winchester is the one for this.
Yeah, she's the returning world team member. She's won a world title years ago at a different weight. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to touch her. She was a round away from bronze last year. Like, so,
It feels like this weight doesn't have as much depth as some of the other weights as well.
No, there's not a lot of entrants at 55 kilograms. I mean, Alisha Howk, she's won U23 twice, U23 world bronze. Marissa Gallegos took 4th last year at the U.S. Open. She's won a national women's title. But I mean, there's not a lot of depth here. I think Winchester's going to kind of walk through the bracket. Well, let me not walk through it, but like I think she's going to handily be the woman in charge here.
I wonder if it doesn't have as much depth because it's now 2023 Worlds and the Olympics are right around the corner now. Because that lost COVID year and 55 kilo not being an Olympic weight class, they have to go down like Jakara
go down or go 53. Up. Yeah, that could be because some are probably prepping for that. And Winchester, she wins the world spot. That's cool. When she goes for the Olympic spot, she's gonna have to do it all over again. She's not exactly doing herself favors for the Olympic year, but
I think again she's gonna be tough to beat. She, like we said, is a returning world. I mean, she's not a returning world champion, but she is a former world champion.
Yeah.
At this exact weight, and the cutting weight, dropping down another weight class. That's a video that could be hashed out forever. How that impacts her performance, or how the lost year of COVID impacted her performance at the 2020, 2021 Olympics. But I think that she's head and shoulders favored for this weight class.
Yeah, I kind of wish Jenna Burkett hadn't gotten an injury to be out this year. She's always exciting to watch, and she's right around 55 kilograms. I mean, she might have gone up or down, but like she's out with an injury this year. So I kind of wish that she was in the mix. Someone who's capable of beating Helen Maroulis, I feel like, is capable of beating anybody.
Well, speaking of Helen Maroulis, we got 57 kilograms. Helen Maroulis has confirmed her spot for Final X. And amongst the field for the U.S. Open, I think this is a similar situation as 50 kilograms, where I don't think anyone's going to take down Maroulis.
They'd have to have a miraculous run to knock off Helen. I don't think I think she is a step or two above anyone else. But I mean, she's got some decent competitors here that are in the bracket. You got Cam Guerin. She was U.S. Open runner-up. She won the women's national 3 times. Alex Hedrick's Final X runner-up. Took 3rd at the U.S. Open. You got Mota Pettis. She's a U23 national champ, U.S. Open runner-up. You got 2-time NAIA champ in Carolina Moreno. Amanda Martinez is in there. She took 4th at the U.S. Open last year. I mean, you got a lot of solid competitors, but as far as who's going to win the U.S. Open, my money would be on Cam Guerin. She's very consistent, very solid. I mean, I'd argue she would have won last year, but last like 10, 15 seconds, Dorado Marin's sister, Adriana, hit a nice 4-point move and pulled ahead, and one mistake cost her the U.S. Open title last year. So I think she's going to be on fire this year, and she's going to come get that title and go get to wrestle Helen, and then, well, I don't know how competitive she'll be against Helen, but
I'm predicting Alex Hedrick versus Cameron Guerin final. I think Hedrick has made Final X twice against Miss Helen over there. All 4 times. She's bested her first 2 matches both times. All times have been a tech. All 4 of those matches, Helen didn't give up a single point.
Yeah, that's
it's dominance to another level. Again, Alex Hedrick too, 3-time national champion in college as well. Most recently at 130, so she's coming down about 5.5 pounds, or 4.5, I think. Actually, let me check my kilo math there. So yeah, about 125.5. Yeah, she's coming down about 4.5 pounds. So she might be the bigger, wrestler as well here.
That's true. It depends on how well she cuts weight, but yeah.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see how she does there. I think it's going to be, unfortunately, whoever wins this, I think is going to have a really uphill battle.
Right. Yeah.
Well, for 59 kilograms, seems like it's a little bit more up in the air. Seems more of an open weight class.
This way, I think, you're right. It's very open. I feel like it could go any which way. There's a lot of different directions this could go.
No returning medalist either. So this is like,
there's
no one sitting.
Abby Net was the world team member last year, and she didn't place. So
I
know Korina Blades, is that Kennedy Blades' sister?
Yes,
younger sister, high schooler as well. I think she's junior in high school. Tough, very tough wrestler in her own right.
For sure, yeah. But I mean, this weight has Final X runner-up, former runner-up Lauren Louvie. Michaela Beck is always a tough competitor. She just took silver at the Koloff Petrov International. Maya Nelson's a returning world team member from a couple years ago.
Yep.
Gracie Figueroa, she took 2nd at the NAIA this year. You got Lexie Basham, who's a 2-time NAIA champion. She took 2nd at Final X last year. 2-net. Brenda Reyna is the women's national champ, U23 champ a couple weeks ago. Sarah Savidge is a NAIA runner-up. Like, you got a lot of national champs, national runner-ups, Final X runner-ups, like international runner. Like, it's a lot of, I think as level of a playing field as it can get, I wouldn't be surprised by anyone. Honestly, I would bet on Maya Nelson might be my pick to win the bracket. I think she had like a year or so off, but I think she might be coming back with a vengeance here.
I like that. I like seeing Gracie Figueroa. I love family members that wrestle. You know, her younger brother, obviously for Arizona State. She's a 5-time world team member herself. I think her best placing was she was like a bronze medalist in like 2016 for cadets. But yeah, I really think Maya Nelson has the experience that she's been in this position before. I think she's looking to get back on the world team. But I think Abby Net, Maya Nelson is a final we might be seeing.
Yeah, probably. That two former world team members. I mean, that'd be a great matchup. But I think Maya Nelson's probably going to be the one that does it.
I'm going for Blades. I know she's young, but
she's tough. Tough people over there.
I mean, she's tough. She's got family connection. I'm pulling for Blades.
I don't know. She didn't even win the U23 nationals.
It was all a ploy. She wants to say, she said like, why would I win now? If I lose, it sets up for a better storyline going forward. But I do win it now.
It's 6th at the U23s, but she won the senior U.S. Open.
It was intentional, all part of the master plan.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, 62 kilograms. I mean, we got a titan. Kayla Miracle is the final X rep for this weight class. Is anyone beating her? I don't think so.
No, I think she pinned and teched in the final X last year, maybe.
I don't think it's going to be close.
Or maybe it was the U.S. Open.
I was going to say, she's a beast. Last year, she didn't even need to enter the U.S. Open, and then she did anyway.
Yeah, and she beat Paige.
Yeah, exactly. She beat Jen Page.
Yeah,
I'd probably be so annoyed if that happened. At the U.S. Open.
Yeah, here's my chance to win the U.S. Open. Oh, great. Kayla entered.
Yeah, it's wonderful. What are you doing?
I mean, so yeah, with her being there, I mean, and that is the Olympic weight. You'd think you'd see more depth in the bracket, but you got who I might butcher her name here, Aduago Nwaku. She's 2-time NAIA champ, U20 world bronze. She took 3rd at the U.S. Open last year. I mean, she's fireworks. She makes a lot of things happen in her matches.
She's a
so maybe
star.
She'll be upset nation here. Maybe, probably not. But
I was gonna say I don't think so.
I mean, maybe she'll give us a surprise U.S. Open win. I mean, potentially, but yeah, probably not. I mean, well, then again, like I said, there's not a lot of depth here. Ashlynn Ortega, women's national champ, 1 year, runner-up another year. I mean, Jen Page is probably the odds-on favorite, but I'd say Nwaku Wu is right there in the mix. Yele Aycock, national runner-up, maybe in the mix. It's hard to pick. I'd say Jen Page is probably the.
Yeah, Jen Page, I would say, is the favorite.
Yeah.
But again, she was pinned in 18 seconds by Kayla Miracle last year's final. So it's tough. I mean, it's just it's just tough.
You're arguably wrestling for second place, but then again, who knows? Maybe she's made a lot of gains since.
Yeah, could be. Hopefully, but it speaks to the depth of America's wrestling. I mean, male and female freestyle. You could be like, I was this amazing wrestler, and I still got pinned in under 30 seconds by someone else in my weight class.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
65 kilograms. You got Macey Kilty, Olympic trials finalist. Emma Bruntil, U.S. Open champ. What do you guys think about this one?
Well, Velti's the returning at bronze. Bruntil has beaten Velti before. She beat her to win the U.S. Open. So my pick would be her, although Macey Kilty is as tough as they get. She's been in the Olympic trials finals before. So that could be a fireworks matchup there. I mean, you also got Emily Say and Anna Luciano, who are both NAIA and women's national champs. But I think Bruntil and Kilty are the finals matchup in the working for the U.S. Open to run into Velty. And honestly, I think either one of them will give. I think that'll probably go to the final X will go to all three matches at that weight. Like, I think they're right on the same tier as Velty, and whoever wins out the spot is going to be kind of like a level playing field.
I think this one's interesting because I love Forrest Molinari, who's actually moved up to 68 this year.
Yeah.
And I thought that the kind of like three-headed monster between Forrest, Velty, and Bruntil last year was, looking for someone even more crazy this year.
Yeah.
With her moving up, but then Macey Kilty slides in, coming up from 62 kilo. So I think that, just like you said, we're going to see a finals matchup of Bruntil versus Kilty.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious matchup. I mean, it's hard to bet against either one of them.
Yeah.
68 kilograms. Tamira Mensah-Stock refused her final X.
Shocks the world. I wasn't expecting it.
I mean, she was so dominant.
I think that her loss at the Olympics really messed with her, because she was on a roll, and then taking bronze was like, what just happened?
Threw her off. Yeah.
But like she's a beast. But I think that she's going to take this year to recharge, and then probably just be like, okay, I'll come back for the 2024 Olympics and
that
head straight kind of thing.
But
and like you were saying, like Forrest Molinari, I mean, she is a stud.
Yeah,
she's tough as nails too. She's like when I think Iowa wrestler, I think of Forrest.
I do too.
I mean, she trains there, and I just remember her interview. And she's like, I'm from Iowa, and we live for the best 2 out of 3. And she's like, we're here to wrestle, and I was like, man, like it's like Dan Gable incarnate.
I think it's going to be Forrest's weight to lose. Like, and I think even with Mensah-Stock gone, like, I think even Final X, Forrest is going to be the one to beat. Like, she's going to be the spot, I think. I mean, you got a women's national champion, Katarina Lang, world team trial finalist, Solon Piercy, 2-time women's champ, Alex Glaude, NAIA champ, Kaylynn Albrecht. But I think Molinari is going to just cruise on through.
Yeah, I think she's a pretty tall favorite in this point. I wonder if she knew something that we didn't know, where Mensah-Stock wasn't coming back, and part of the reason she moved up.
Could be,
but or maybe she just said, hey, I want the challenge, or whatever it is. But I wonder if she's like, because she seems the kind of person that's like, I love a tough matchup. So maybe she's a little disappointed that Mensah-Stock won't be there for her. But regardless, I'm sure no one's going to complain about possibly making a world team.
Yeah, very true.
That's true. 72 kilograms. Amit Elor is the final X rep, and
superstar.
I mean, I don't think anyone's really gonna give her a run for the money.
Oh, you don't think the Triple Crown winner is?
Yeah, I mean, she only won 3 world titles as an 18-year-old
in the same year.
Yeah, just what a beast! I just think that I think Amit Elor is, every like young girl should have a poster of her in their room, like everyone did for like Jordan Burroughs. I think she's, so many young girls out there this is someone that you could look up to, where she's doing all the right things, and she's, always up for a challenge and always putting her best foot forward, and she just works hard. I think she's a great role model.
And she's working towards her second Triple Crown, you were saying, right?
Yeah. Yep. She's already committed she's already got 1 spot down. This will be her second. She's working for that second Triple Crown. All that being said, I have no idea who I even think would be.
This weight, as far as the entrants are listed, realistically, I think Marilyn Dede. She's a national women's champ, U.S. Open runner-up last year. I think she's probably the favorite. Cheyenne Bowman, she's a national women's runner-up. Joy Lewandowski's an NAIA runner-up. And then shout out to Cara Broadus, CT native, 4th at the women's nationals. And I think she placed
I
fourth
think
at the
third.
U23 nationals, or
Yeah,
third.
because had an injury in the semis, and I think an
Yeah.
injury again in the third.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, but she placed at U23 a couple weeks ago. So, shout out to her for competing. I don't think she's going to win the U.S. Open. Be
Yeah,
great
it'd
if
be
she
tough.
did,
It'd
but
be
I
tough.
think Marilyn Deed is probably my pick that will win the U.S. Open. But then I think Amit Allure is just gonna
Yeah. I see
annihilate.
Rose Cassiope's entered too. Younger
Yes.
sister of Tony Cassiope, older brother of Rocco and Bruno.
Yep.
That's another big wrestling family, the Cassiopes. And granted, I'm sure his season didn't go the way he wanted for Tony Cassiope, but he's a multi-time world medalist in freestyle. So I know that you gotta guess that there's got to be some talent in Rose as well. I mean, I've seen her do
Yeah.
pretty well at the younger levels.
Yeah.
Obviously, making her senior debut, as far as I know, is pretty serious.
We've saved the best for last, I think, here. 76 kilograms, I think, is probably the
Oh,
most stacked, probably even men's and women's combined.
yeah. It's deep. Yeah.
Kennedy Blades, Adeline Gray, Dymond Guilford, Kylie Welker, Precious Bell. I mean, all these names are the top.
Yeah. Skylar
Top of
Grote,
women's
Yelena
wrestling.
Yeah.
Makied, like all of them are making
Skylar Grote.
noise nationally, internationally. Like it's crazy that they're all in one weight and they're all going to crash into each other, and then it's probably going to happen again because this weight doesn't have a returning medalist. So it's going to happen again at the World Team Trials Challenge Tournament to see
Yep.
who gets to wrestle the winner of this bracket. So like it could happen twice.
I think part of this is, and part of why we see 72 so barren and 76 so wide is that 72 is a non-Olympic weight, and a lot of these people say, "Hey, again, Olympics is next year. I want to get my weight up, get accustomed to this," and so that's why we're seeing like Skylar Grote, for example, who made Final X last year, going up, and I think we're going to see a lot of guys, gals, I guess I should say, that are really going to be banging in this weight class.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I kind of hope that they run into each other, Welker and Blades, after their best of 2 out of 3 series. I mean, the previous best 2 out of 3 series, Welker won, and most recently, Blades won 2-0. So like they just traded 2-0, 2-0 in matches. And then you got Welker was in the Olympic trial finals against Gray, and Gray's making her return. So now that could be an interesting matchup as well. See how much Welker's improved since then. See if Adeline Gray still got it after taking the time off that she did. And then you got the returning world team member Dymond Guilford, and she's probably not even considered to be an expected finalist here. Like, my money would not be for Dymond Guilford to make the finals, and she's the returning world team member,
And a
which is
silver
crazy.
medalist in U23s.
Yeah, like it's wild. Yeah, exactly. Like it's wild to think. And then you also got Yelena Makied, who's making tons of noise like this year. Like she's made tons of improvements. This bracket I feel like could explode in many ways, but I still would go with Adeline Gray as the favorite.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go against the 6-time world champ?
How do you pick
She's a
against
legend, living legend. Like that's like I mean, Jordan Burroughs betting against him. Like he's 7-time world champ. I don't think I'm ready to bet against him yet. Like he's still proving himself. Like just like I think Adeline Gray's about to go for another world title.
I agree. I think how do you pick against Adeline Gray? That being said, I would love to see a matchup between Kennedy Blades and Welker again after honestly what I consider pretty shocking U20 finals.
Yeah.
Kennedy Blades beat her 2 straight, including a pin.
Yeah,
pin.
Yeah.
A pretty quick pin. I think she beat her like 10-4 in the first match, or it might have been a little closer.
No, I think it was a 2-point match. I think it was within 2 points. Yeah.
So it was a little bit closer than I thought. But again, I didn't expect her to get pinned in the second match like that.
The first match actually, I think Welker was winning with like 10 to 20 seconds to go and gave up 4.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like a takedown and then 2 more and then lost and then got pinned. Like I hopefully that was a wake up call for Welker, and now she's gonna be coming back with a vengeance at the U.S. Open.
I think anyone that wins this weight has a very good shot to be a world champion this year.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just the depth there is that
Yeah.
whoever, and this is a very accomplished weight class by a lot of great females out there.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever wins this is not going to, the world to say like, oh, I made it to the world. It's like I think they're going there just like everyone says, I want to win, but I think this is a weight class where America expects this to be a world champion weight class. Whoever
Yeah,
wins
this is one of the U.S.'s locks in terms of.
this is exactly like this is a lock.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Much
there
of
you
a
guys
lock
have
to
it. That is our preview for the 2023 U.S. Women's Open.
Yes.
Leave a comment down below. What do you think is going to happen? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who do you think is going to surprise some people, and who do you think is going to make that final X spot? Leave it down in the comments section below.
Bro, women's wrestling. Woo!
Fastest growing sport in America.
Ayo.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.